But you can see I still got to get, like I've got to cut through and make all the fingers where you can see. You know, I'll score through there and get it where it really looks like you go between the fingers. And then I got to detail it, which will take, that's what takes the time. It was about 2 years ago, February, I called up John. John said, hey, come up. I got some stuff I'd like to, let's talk. Our vision is we'd like to do a Thunder and Lightning, Will and Raphael. And, you know, of course I was blown away with him even implying that. So that's how it got started.
When we started the process, he came over to my house several times for hours at a time. This was 6, 7, 8 hours at a time. And we took pictures, videos, measurements of every inch of my body like I've never seen before. And I'm thinking, you know, this is going to be precise. This is going to be exact. And that's what he did.
We did everything, got in his driveway, had video of him swinging, anything you can imagine to get every angle. So Will gave me all of his time. Same thing, we videoed, took pictures, measured.
He did quite a bit of research before he even did the statue, and he got everything literally anatomically correct. He measured the distance from my nose to my eyebrow, stuff like that, and it was pretty neat. So the process started quite a while in advance.
Oh, that's the legendary right there.
Oh, the pine tar, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll put this on, and then we'll run the tape up to about there, and I think that's kind of what they told me that they like it. We talked about, how are we going to get the stance? They both have classic follow-throughs, and so, to have the statues to balance, we made that decision to do that.
Everybody, for whatever reason, thought that my follow-through was like iconic. Everybody sort of called it the cape because it was like one of these numbers, and it was just how I finished my swing off, and it stuck with me not only in college but also in pro ball, and people would talk about it. So it was a pretty natural pose for the artist to do.
Well, that's actually my 3,000th hit. I chose it because it's different than Will. Will was more of a true power hitter when we were in college. He hit the towering home runs, fly balls deep, 500 feet. Mine were more normal, unique line drives. So I picked that one because it was just a nice line drive into left field for a double. With the Thunder and Lightning theme, I thought, okay, let me pick one with a line drive.
It starts out with you build a wire skeleton, and you start putting clay on it, and you mold it, and you go from pictures to measurements. And so when I had the 2 foots, I would go back, Will and Raphael would critique those, we would make adjustments. And then after the 2-foot statues are completed and approved, I use a company in New Jersey that digitally scans the 2 images, and they create an 8-foot foam sculpture identical to my 2-foot. And then from that point, it was putting the clay on the 8-foot. So my process from sculpting part took me probably 18 months to do both of them. I can take it apart, and I can actually sit in the chair and bring it down here to me, and I don't have to get on the ladder. And like taking the arm off will let me get to the Mississippi State really good. I'll take the head off, and I'll go to Raphael and Will, and I'll work on the head with them in front of it. So instead of them having to come here, because it's going to be the hardest part to do. So I'll heat the clay up, and I'll get it really, really thin, and I can almost paint it on with a paintbrush. And I'll put the outside layer on, and then I'll start adding clay, and the clay will probably be a 1/2 inch thick all around it. We'll have a fabric texture on the pants. A lot of bronzes will have a texture, and we're not going to do that. It's going to be smooth like skin. And then the leggings will have a different texture than that. And the gloves, and I'll put all the seams in the gloves. The most difficult part of the project is getting the proportions right. If I can make Raphael's face look exactly like it did when he was 20 years old, if I have his head too big, it's not going to look like it. So the proportions, you want it to be as proportional as you can, so that's doing the math. It's a lot of things than just putting clay and starting to smush the clay on the statue. I'm a full-time dentist, so this is something I did when I wasn't doing my primary job. So it was a lot of long hours, and it was worth it. It's just so fun, and The opportunity that I got was just unbelievable.
Bear Bryant gets statues, you know. I don't deserve a statue, but you know, it's humbling, and I guess it says that I came here and I made an impact, a positive impact.
Just to be part of the history of Mississippi State baseball, the players that came before me and then the players that have come after me, it's pretty amazing. I mean, when you look back on it and you were like, I was right there in the middle of that mix, and you know, you look back on like this stadium and stuff like that and you go, you know, in a certain way we all had our hand in helping build this stadium and making Mississippi State baseball what it is today.
Well, it is game day here at Dudy Noble Field, Polk Stadium, and it has been already a very, very exciting day with the opening of a new facility, and now we have baseball activity. We're going to have a really nice crowd for what is going to be the opening of this brand new facility.
It was good to finally see everything come together. You know, 2 years of kind of seeing all these plans kind of start to come up from literally scratch after blowing up the old stadium. It was cool to see it all happen at once, and it was fun.
We had so much going on, you couldn't get nervous until right before the game time. So for me, it was my first experience at Dudy Noble. So it was pretty awesome to walk out and play in front of our fans and playing, man, one of the best parks ever in college baseball. So it's just been a lot of fun.
Let's go, let's go. Hey, we're right around. Let's go. Hey, go, 3. 1, 2, 3, go.
Nasati steps in and the pitch is a strike and we're underway. The 2019 baseball season is underway.
He was pumped up early, so he was awesome. He was a Friday night ace, and that was fun to have out there.
And he swings and misses at a 2-strike pitch. 5 strikeouts in a row to start the ball game for Ethan Small.
Ethan, he ended on a great note last year, you know, ended up being our Friday guy out in Omaha. So I fully expected him to do that.
Now the pitch, and he couldn't stop it. It was a breaking ball down, and he strikes out swinging, and that's 11 strikeouts, and that's a quick 1-2-3 inning. But the Penguins out of the Horizon League are leading the Bulldogs of Mississippi State.
We're gonna beat 3-0 like going into the 6th inning, and I actually was like, all right, maybe like that's just gonna be the thing. You know, like the thing was just opening day. It just never went right.
Colin Clark's pitch. Line shot, fair ball, left field corner. That ought to be a couple. Mangum is headed for a second with a stand-up double. And the Bulldogs get a little something to start the inning. It's a fly ball, opposite field. It is deep, it is really deep. It might get out of here. It is gone, and we are tied as Tanner Allen goes the other way right over the 350 sign.
I like having people on base when I hit. You know, if we're gonna send anybody to the plate to get a job done, I want it to be me. You know, it's like, who am I? Send me. That's what I got written in my hat. You know, send me. If we got a situation, a tough situation, I want to be the guy going up to the plate every time. You know, I want to do my best to help my team win every time.
Breaking ball in the air, deep in the outfield. Got a chance, and it is gone. Yep. And that's a 3-run homer for Elijah McNamee. And the Bulldogs have used the long ball to give themselves some breathing room today.
We kept saying, hey, let's get the crowd in it. And Jake hit that double, and he hit second base, and everybody was on their feet. It just makes it hard to slow us down when we got that momentum.
There's one on the outside corner. That's strike 3. 14-3 final. Successful opening day.
I love watching guys who improve. And you're just getting better every day. You're really going to help us, and that was awesome. These dogs on 3. 1, 2, 3. No!
Welcome to the new Dudy Noble Field at Polk Stadium. Second day we play in this completed facility. And it's going to be a little chillier today than it was yesterday.
No, it was going to be a long day. We knew from the beginning. I got up at 7 o'clock, had a beer at 8, got breakfast, you know, got BP, got ready to play.
It's hard because in the NCAA you can't practice that long. So for those guys, we really challenged them about playing with energy, staying focused all day, And then the mindset's about 1 inning at a time.
Let's go! Let's see, baby! Let's see! 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, go!
One of the things that a lot of Mississippi State fans are anticipating today is the fact that they're going to get a look at JT Ginn.
He was about ready to jump out of his uniform on Friday night, so I'm glad we gave him a night, but he was ready Saturday. He is an unbelievable talent and an ultra competitor, and so it was good to get him out there and watch him pitch.
And there's a ball lifted in the air deep in the outfield. That one might get out of the yard, and it does.
He kind of got welcome to the game first inning, gave up a homer, but everybody's going to give up homers.
In the bottom of the first, I ran in there and said, "Welcome to college, JT." I am a little glad he got welcomed a little bit, but he settled down and he dealed, and he's just going to continue to deal all year.
And there's, that looked like a slider.
Yep.
On the outside corner. A call, third strike. And Ginn gets out of the inning, and that finishes up the fifth.
Me and Smalls have been pulling him over aside and talking to him a little bit and trying to see where his mind's at. And we knew JT would take full advantage of the moment and do exactly what he did. I mean, you get offered that kind of money out of high school. It's no bluff. It's real. So we knew that he was going to go out and do exactly what he did and perform well.
And the pitch to Allen, and he hits it in the air, and it's going back deep. It looks like it might, and it is, yes, a home run for Tanner Allen. He hits one on opening day. He hits one on day 2 of the season. Yesterday it was an opposite field job. This time he hits it over the right field wall.
Any runner that got on base, Tanner Allen drove in all weekend, so that makes it nice when you got somebody driving in so many runs.
He's using foul line to foul line. Last year he didn't have that. Now I don't know where you throw TA. His ability to stay back on off speed and be on time with the fastball is awesome.
Yeah, we picked up right where we left off. Everybody's making great swings on balls, having quality at bats. Guys hitting with 2 strikes really good. 2-out hits were amazing.
That's where our offense can be. I mean, it can be real contagious, and with so many good hitters in there, they took off. I mean, and they just, from probably about the 8th inning on Friday night, we were offensive the whole weekend.
Line drive the other way by Cumbus. He's got a base hit. And that will score a run. The ball gets away and rolls to the plaza area in right field, and Cumbus, who for a big guy runs pretty well, ends up at third base.
Big Mule. So Big Mule got a big hit and then a triple. Those guys work so hard, so getting some of those guys into the game was nice.
I know my first time out there, I'm gonna be like a kid in a candy store again, just being able to play the game that I love to play. I just have to keep myself grounded and know that it's just another day at the office, and it's just something that I've done for years now.
He's worked extremely hard to get back to where he is, and he's still got his breaking ball. He's still got his go-to.
And he swings and he misses, and that's a nice way to put it in the book. Spencer Price gets out of it with a strikeout. Final score, Mississippi State 14. The guys from Youngstown, Ohio, Youngstown State 2, will play them again this afternoon.
All right, boys. 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Keegan comes out, I guess, the goose egg on the board shows how good he was. He was outstanding.
I felt great. I felt very in control. Nerves were gone after about pitch 1 or pitch 2, but other than that, it was a lot of fun.
He just filled it up. I mean, just filled up the zone, pitched with confidence, and exciting for him. A lot of our pitchers have had a crazy journey, and so for him to see him pitch to that level and just, he just filled up the strike zone.
And he delivers, and Foscue hits it high and deep, way back, and it is gone. A Foscue home run. Ball well hit. Center fielder won't get to it. It's going to hit near the track, go to the wall. Westberg will get 2. He wants 3, and he's going to get there as he drives in a run with a triple.
We got a really strong lineup with a lot of talent, and they got a lot of guys that have worked really hard to be where they're at. And you just don't see any spot in our lineup where you can take a deep breath if you're the pitcher.
We really have a nice blend of a lineup, and I think the depth of our lineup is huge, because you can get down. We had Hayden Jones on our 8-hole. He hit a ball out of the stadium almost.
There's a drive deep into right field, and that one is hit way out of the ballpark. Boy, Hayden Jones steps up, and the freshman, his first Bulldog hit. is really hit.
That's the hardest one to get. The first hit of your college career is really, really tough to get. I mean, some people might get it their first at bat, but I know for myself, personally, it was a long time to get that first hit.
I think he matured a lot from the last scrimmage just until, game day catching me. Obviously, a guy can swing the bat and has an absolute cannon from behind the plate. So I think he did really well, and he's only going to get better.
The count, he can just bury it, and he just took it with a fastball that time that was out of the zone a little bit, but got good movement, and he got a chase and got a strikeout.
We got some future stars in that bullpen. Just a lot of people don't know about them yet.
I saw a bunch of dogs. Is what I did. I told the guys last night, it's like, I don't throw my 5 shutout, or we don't throw a complete shutout if they don't come in and do the same thing. I mean, we got runners on third 2 or 3 of the last couple innings, and those guys shut it down. They didn't let anybody score, came in the dugout saying nobody's gonna score, so it was a big deal. Our guys came in and shut the door.
Ground ball back to the mound. Well, the 42 will be the figure. And right back to first base on a comebacker to the mound. He flips it over. Brandon Smith has a good inning. Bulldogs have a good day. Bulldogs have a good weekend.
This is one of the best teams I've played on. I mean, especially for opening weekend. I think we just do like we did and come with the same approach like we did this past weekend. I think we're fine all year.
We're not satisfied, swinging out. That's not the goal. It's more along the lines of we're trying to be the best team we can be, and we'll worry about us, not the opponent.